One question I always get is why would they lie about the flat earth? The flat earth model, as I've said before, is a spiritual template or temple. It is the consciousness field, and we are experiencing the flat plane of inertia at the bottom of this consciousness field or the torus field, where the densest part or densest frequencies resonate at a very slow pace to the point of inertia. And so around the central vortex of this system, you have the inert plane. That's where the word earth comes from. Inert, inertia. That's why they call these round structures yurts. Now, if you thought you were on a spinning water ball and you needed a spaceship to get off of this spinning water ball, and your planet was alone in vast infinite space until you went out and found somebody else to play with, then you're not realizing that you are a spiritual being that is part of a spiritual template, and you have access to everything through that template because you're part of it. We're made in the same image. We have a Merkaba, which is the double torus, and we experience our reality from that biofield, from that energetic template, and it is part of the greater template. We are integrally connected to that template. So we don't need to depend on anything external. We don't need devices. We don't need spaceships. We don't need food when we are fully activated in that template. But they have kept us disconnected from that template with mind control and various technologies, polluting the environment. They changed the frequencies, the standard of tuning. They changed the standard of timing. Everything was changed and inverted and reversed so that we do not realize we are part of that infinite system. Everything is holographic, but there are controlled holograms and there is the universal hologram, which is simply nature. God is nature unfolding infinitely, and there are lesser gods which claim to be as good as or better than nature. And that's why you see these cults in the church and other religions, that they infiltrated these religions and pretended like that teaching of worshiping outside of yourself was the true religion. And you'll notice that it's all male-dominated religions because they had to destroy the divine feminine in order to keep people practicing that kind of parasitic behavior and those kinds of rituals that prop up the system. The divine feminine is the spiritual template, and the divine feminine gives birth to the physical, to light, which is a bit of a slower vibration than the original creator. And then from light, it goes to sound, which is slower, and then on to the material world. And so the teachings say that originally Sophia, the divine feminine creator of the universe, that is the void, that moves over the void itself. It speaks the word, which is vibration, and brings forth light. Let there be light. From that oneness, that singularity, comes polarity. And that is how the material world comes about. All of this is happening in the now, in that template that looks like the double torus field. Atoms look like that. Galactic planes look like that. See, a galaxy has a flat plane, is a flat plane, and it has a torus field above it and below it. We just don't see it with our eyes because it's vibrating faster than the visible light spectrum. So the universe looks like that, the atom looks like that, galaxies look like that. Why wouldn't the world look like that. We look like that on the energetic level. If you took away the flesh and the bone, the actual biofield is the Merkaba. It is a light energy body. A light energy body doesn't need material things, and it doesn't need to be entertained by anything else. It creates reality, it participates in reality. It is not the self, it is not the identity, it is simply the observer and the experiencer. And if we're fully conscious and lucid, then we know that's what we are. But if we become deluded and lost in this labyrinth that is created by the material world, then we become lost in it to the point of forgetting what we really are. And see, that's what this awakening is all about. We are remembering. We're coming back out of the labyrinth. And so that's why people who love control and don't want to let go of that control are throwing a temper tantrum. And that's why they lie. Does that explain it?